This video is a part 2 to the CRT texture tutorial that I uploaded. I'll show you that video on screen, so if you want to go get started before coming here, then you can go watch that video first. You don't actually need to watch that video for this, but if you want to properly understand the effect, then this tutorial picks up where that one left off. But if you go here on my website, you can just download the files that I used to get here. With that out of the way, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create this kind of animation on the CRT effect. So this is an animation that is doing enough that it's clearly moving the texture and the image, but not actually moving or animating anything through the image, so that we can replicate the kind of static still image CRT effect. So I have got Dither Boy open already, and I've just got the PS2 logo because that's what I used in the last tutorial. And if you downloaded the preset from my website, then you can just go to settings, library, and click on import preset. I've already got it, so I'm just going to hit load, and here it is. And if we zoom in a little bit, just to remind you about some of what I talked about in the last video, when we set this effect up, I told you about how the scale and max displace sliders are used to set the convergence of this texture. So if I come up in my dither settings to scale that I've got set at 50 and I just drop it down to 49, you'll see that obviously the scale does change, but the layout of the pattern changes as well. And if I move it down to 48, it'll keep changing. So if I then go into the chromatic aberration effect and move the max display slider, you'll see again parts of the texture that overlap change, which then changes what gets picked up for the glow, and it just changes the overall image. So zoomed out, even if we just have a look at this and move these around, you can see colors change, kind of, they sort of stay the same, but they glow differently. The texture changes, the level of detail almost changes, even just with the chromatic aberration slider. So these are the sliders that we're going to animate today. Before we do that though, we are going to go to file and click on convert to animation, and then we're going to click new effect and choose temporal variation. And in this pattern drop down, if you click this and come down to random walk, depending on the shape that you've loaded, you might notice that this is only really applying to certain parts of your image or your shape. So I'm going to up the intensity to 10 for the tutorial. For you, you're probably going to want to go for something lower, but I just want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Once you've done that, if you come back to the dither settings and start moving the threshold slider, you will be able to lower it until more shades or more colors from your palette are catching the pattern that is generated with the temporal variation. So down here at the bottom, if you change from quick to rendered and standard to looped, and if I just move my scale down to 49 so you can see more clearly what's going on, if I hit play now, you'll see you've got this slow crawling pattern that comes through the dither and through the chromatic aberration and everything we set up earlier. Obviously this is going to depend on the speed that you set, so if you want it to be really fast, you can set that as high as you want, but that's really just like an overlay that gets put on the pre-dither and then interpreted through the dither settings and effects that we've got set up. So like I said before, we are going to add an animation to either the scale slider or the max displace value. Now, because of the fact that I'm doing this on a logo, if I do the animation on the scale slider, it will quickly become just like unreadable or like unrecognizable. So for me, I'm going to do the animation on the max displace value. But if you're doing this on an image or something where it's just a shape, then you can also use the scale one, and obviously you can see what will happen when you animate that. But all I did then was just hit add animation at the bottom right, and you get this blank layer come up. I'm going to drag this roughly to the middle and then hit add animation again, and then match the size and put it at the end of the timeline. On the first layer, I'm going to select category, chromatic effects, and property of max displace, and I'm just going to take it from 0 all the way to 20. And then on the second layer, I'm going to do the same, chromatic effects, max displace, and then from 20 all the way to 0. Now these layers won't let you overlap when they've got the same property, but just make sure that you drag them out all the way so there's no gap. If you've got a gap in the middle, it'll just create like a weird part of your animation rather than a loop. And then from here, when you hit play, you will get both the moving pattern going through the dither that you've set up, and you will get the convergence of the RGB evolving all the way through the animation, which then influences what color colors are picked up by the glow, and the end result is something that obviously is a static image but with animation applied to it. Obviously this is not quite, it's not exactly what a CRT would look like if you just loaded this up on there, but the key here is that we've not moved anything. We're not doing any big sweeping animations like with contrast or, you know, anything too crazy. So it's still subtle enough to just look kind of static. If you're creating one of these as just like a supporting element of something else, then having it do something subtle, still, and noticeable in the animation is kind of ideal for emulating like digital glitchy CRT style imagery. So I know this was a really quick addition to the last tutorial, but I made this because someone left a comment asking for it. So if there is a tutorial that you want to see, definitely let me know. I'll show that comment on screen now. I made a couple of tests before this, just using the exact same process of temporal variation, changing the luminance threshold, and then animating the max displaced value. And I'll show you the other results I got on screen now, all using the exact same setup and all the same properties. So thanks for watching. Just as a quick reminder at the end of the video, I am now going to be putting all my tutorials and free downloads and loads of other stuff like color palettes or textures back on the Studio AAA website at studioAAA.com/free. If you go there, you will land here, which is the Dither Boy community hub page. I don't really have a name for it, but yeah, I just started this and you can already download some of my work there. I'll probably put something related to this on there. So if you wanted to get anything specific from my setup, then you can get that for free on there. But yeah, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.